Yes, indeed. It is that time of the week, that time of the morning where we say, hello, good morning, welcome to Garden America. All you people out there. Goodness gracious, am I ever going to learn? I thought I'd turn my laptop off. Every week we have to take two. Good morning, welcome to Garden America. I'm Brian Mann. We've got John Bagnasco, Tiger Palafox, ready to kick things off with what should be a good show today. Didn't say great because we're not too sure about that, but going to be a very good show. A lot of people tuned in already. We appreciate that. I've said enough. I'm going to turn it over to you, John, for the next couple of minutes here, or moments.
Yeah, I'd say no.
No? Is that a definite no?
Or was that a rhetorical question?
It was rhetorical.
Oh, okay.
It was rhetorical. I just better get used to turning off my laptop. Now, you can't really hear it over the air or on Facebook, but it really does bother us, doesn't it?
Bothers me.
Because I have it on during the week. So we trust you had a good week. You are tuned in, which we appreciate. Hey, be sure to go to our YouTube channel. That's what I'm trying to say. Garden America Radio Show on YouTube. Be sure to like and subscribe. We're slowly building up subscribers.
Unless you're on Facebook right now, we'd like you to stay there and interact with us.
John brings up a good point. Don't do it right now, but do put that in the back of your mind. Garden America Radio Show on YouTube. We also have a great website, a new and improved website, gardenamerica.com. Just about everything you'd want to find out about us is on our website, John.
You think it'll snow today?
In Minnesota, yes.
Oh, my gosh. I was telling Tiger as we walked in this morning, it was 93 degrees at my house yesterday.
Ridiculous. Come on, it's middle November, late November.
Right.
What's going on?
The worst part is that we had gone through a week or 2 weeks of 60, 70-degree temperatures.
It was beautiful. I was getting used to the fall weather. Cool at night.
Oh. What's really bad is flowers and roses especially, since you know I have several. They get used to that cool weather and everything starts opening. The petals open up. Everything looks perfect. And then you get a hot day and there's nothing you can do. They turn to potpourri right on the bush.
So that said, we were in the 80s and 90s here in San Diego this past week. How warm or cold was it where you are? Let us know if you're in parts of California or across the country what kind of weather you're enjoying, because it's supposed to be this way through tomorrow, John, then I think back to normal temperatures for this time of the year. I think.
To seasonable temperatures.
Seasonable temperatures.
Yeah.
But you're right. I was getting used to not watering for a while. Now I got to get back out there and soak the plants.
Well, even with 90-degree temperatures, you still don't have to water as much because the days are shorter.
Oh, good point.
Yeah.
Less light?
I was surprised because 93 degrees in August at my house, and I'd water twice a day.
And my patio now is getting barely any sunlight because of that whole earth access thing.
Yeah, I noticed the north side of my house, the shadows are extending further.
See, this is the first time that you'll realize this because your house is complete.
Yeah.
Getting used to those shadows. I just noticed that by 1 o'clock, there's no sunlight in my patio at all. It's ridiculous. Just after 12:30, 1 o'clock. It's like, I'm sorry, plants, there's no sun.
Yeah.
How are you going to photosynthesize? You can't.
You don't need sun to photosynthesize.
I know.
You do need light.
But you need light, and I don't have a lot of light, if any at all. But over the past several years, plants have managed to survive. I'm batting 900, by the way.
900?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
As far as my plants surviving and dying.
You have 9 for 10?
Yeah. How about
Which
that?
one died?
No, I mean in general. That's the average.
Oh.
What was the last plant that died? I don't know.
Hey, I know one that almost died was your banana, your red banana.
I should take a picture so you can see how it looks better this time around than it ever did the first time around.
Really?
It looks wonderful. Tiger liked the deep, dark green leaves.
Now, I have 2 of them that when I came to work this morning were in 5-gallon cans laying flat on the ground.
Why is that?
From the wind, I think. The Santa Ana
Really?
winds. Yeah. And there's nothing you can do.
So later on in the show, Tiger will be joining us. He's here.
Oh.
He's busy setting up.
Stepping all over him.
No, he's busy setting up.
I was going to mention that even though it's hot right now, that cool weather's on its way, which means Christmas is coming, right?
Yeah. There is no better day to talk about great gift ideas than on a 85-degree, sunny, dry, beautiful day, right? Because what gets you in the mood more than that?
Right. And, last night it was so warm, after the sun went down, we left the front door open.
Yeah.
Because it was nice.
Right.
It was nice.
I left our doors and windows open last night too, because I think it only went down to maybe 64, something like that.
Yeah, real minimal.
Lenore says 86.
I am working with a frozen screen, so it's working, but my screen is not working.
Your screen is not working.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
just letting you know.
The panic on your face that I saw there.
Yeah.
Did you try refreshing?
I don't want to try that right now.
So yeah, we as far as the audio and the picture, the video, so far so good, Tiger. So.
All right.
Hey, Kathy in Neeland says that it's unusually warm up there, and there's no frost on the pumpkin.
Ooh.
That's a way to tell temperature, right?
No.
I don't like it when
Is it cold? Well, no frost on the pumpkin.
No frost. Who wants frost on their pumpkin? I don't think.
I don't mind some whipped cream in my pumpkin pie, right?
Pumpkin pie. That's
It's the best.
this time of year. Yeah. Pumpkin pie with whipped cream.
I think cool. I'm a Cool Whip guy.
Now, my son-in-law will not use whipped cream.
No.
He doesn't like the texture of it.
How about Cool Whip?
He's weird.
No.
I think that's the best. I know it's got a lot of chemicals in it, but I love Cool Whip.
Now, okay, for pumpkin pie, are you a refrigerated cold
Yes.
pumpkin pie person,
Yes.
or are you a
room temperature's
temperature,
okay, but not
temperature?
hot.
It doesn't
pumpkin?
matter.
Yeah, no, definitely not hot.
Right.
Definitely not hot.
No,
right?
but usually-
but some people are like out of the refrigerator. They love that cold pumpkin pie. Or I like the room temperature better.
I'm good either way.
Really?
Yeah, I would. You know what? That never even occurred to me.
Really?
Yeah, and even warm. Yeah, fine. Just give me some pumpkin.
Now, I've
pie.
always liked the crust on pumpkin pie. So whenever I would eat pumpkin pie, I would always eat the pumpkin off. So just the shell was
The
left.
grand.
What are you,
grand cracker,
9?
Grand cracker.
So
crust.
then I would be able to eat that and enjoy
Does
that.
your wife cut the crust off your bread when she makes sandwiches for you?
No, I just told you I like the crust.
I love that John just doesn't buy a box of graham crackers and eat them. Like that would be the equivalent to eating the crust, right?
I don't think I've ever eaten a graham cracker
Really?
in my life
Just by itself?
by itself.
Really?
No. I would only eat them if I would dunk them in tea.
Oh, that's just weird.
That just sounds terrible. Why would you do that?
I don't know.
Have you ever eaten animal crackers?
The hard part about that, though, is that the temperature of the tea has to be just right. Because if it's too hot, it just turns to mush, falls into
Turns
your
to
cup.
mush.
It dissolves.
It turns to mush no matter what. It's not a matter of hot or cold. It's liquid with a graham cracker, and it turns to mush. Oh, my goodness, John.
Hey, Sue's thanking you, John.
For sharing the Dave
Yeah.
Wilson fruit tree video.
Oh.
She says all our Saturday shows are great.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
We enjoy
Now the
it.
shows we do the other days are
Yeah.
not great.
Right, yeah,
because
the
we don't do it.
The Tuesday show's in the dumper. Nobody likes that one.
Right.
But again, that goes even further with the fact that you can go to our YouTube page if you want to watch previous shows. We also keep shows right here on our Facebook page. We archive them. We need you to like and subscribe wherever you go.
We
like
were
and
talking about
subscribe.
this problem earlier because we have 500 more people that follow the show than like the show.
Yeah, John's trying to wrap his head around that.
Yeah, you can like us and not follow us.
Sure. But no, like us on YouTube, like us here, trying to build subscriptions up, trying to build the show for you, not for us.
Now, Dana says
you.
graham crackers and milk. Now, my brother and sister would always do graham crackers and milk.
And that's normal. That is normal. Not
Yeah, I could never do it because the milk was too cold.
Do you remember Graham Kerr, the Galloping Gourmet?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I never saw anybody gallop like he did.
You know, he finally got down off his high horse, though. I had to change the name of the show.
Hey, so what's happening? We got about a minute till the break, Tiger.
Well, we're going to have to figure out how Randy Schultz likes his graham crackers because
He's the guest.
he's our guest today, and we'll be talking about the holiday gift guide that he feverishly puts together annually for us to give hints of insight into what maybe a gardener might want in their stocking or as a present.
So this is the
When do
display
I
you
need
have
to get
here.
my list to you guys?
When? You should have gotten it to us a week ago.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
Now I'm going to get something I don't want from you.
of course you are. Anyway, thus the display that Tiger has
Yeah,
here.
I'm just rotating through it all for everyone to see these magnificent gift ideas, whether it's seeds or planters or tools or mosquito repellent.
Nicely done, by the
Yeah.
way, with the camera and everything you're doing.
Thanks.
Are you still frozen?
Yes.
Carol from Tucson says hello.
We love
So,
Tucson, by the way. Big shout out to Tucson.
She didn't say the temperature in Tucson, though, but I think they're back into their spring season, right?
I was going to say, now they're normal.
Right.
Like,
Fall is for planting, definitely, if you're in Arizona.
By the way,
Yes.
Carol, I do have some radio spots running in the Tucson market.
all right.
Thought I'd throw that out there.
Boom.
Hey, we're going to take a break. Hey,
All right.
hey. Thank you for tuning in. We're going to take a break. Our first break of the day. Segment 1 is in the books. We're going to come back with Randy Schultz, all these great products here, great gift ideas heading into the holidays. Stay with us. Welcome to the show. I'm Brian Main, Tiger Palafox, John Bagnasco here on Garden America. Back after these messages on Biz Talk Radio. Garden America is back. We are back from the break on Biz Talk Radio, the short break on Facebook Live. I'm Brian Main. Tiger Palafox, John Bagnasco, Randy Schultz is ready. But, John, let's take care of a quick question from Cindy.
Before the question, a comment from Scott in Pennsylvania. He says graham crackers with icing.
And he got a lot of positive feedback on that one.
Yeah, Veronica replied with a, ooh. Hey, Cindy says that 2 of her azaleas died this year, and another one is looking sickly, and she lives in California. Could it be the drought? Absolutely. Azalea is a combination of things with azaleas in California, depending on what part of California you live in. But in the drier areas of California, the soils are more alkaline. And azaleas and camellias are acid-loving plants. So with the drought, you're not washing a lot of the salts out of the soil. So you need good deep waterings on azaleas and an acid-type fertilizer or something to acidify the soil, like soil sulfur, iron sulfate, anything like that.
And I've experienced here in California, too, sometimes a Santa Ana event, like a crispy wind, kind of hot exposure.
Dries everything out?
Yeah, you'll see results after the fact. So like John is saying, these are things that we're doing in preparation because you have to have this environment ready to go for our weird weather that azaleas don't know. So sometimes people will say, oh, this happened to my azalea this week. And I'm like, oh, well, last week, 2 weeks ago, this happened, and now you're seeing the damage.
Right.
Yeah.
And with broadleaf evergreens or evergreen type shrubs, what you're saying is even more noticeable because, think of Christmas trees. They're dead, but they stay green for a long time before the needles finally start turning brown. And the same thing with an azalea or rhododendron if you live a little further north. Once they start turning brown, it's almost too late. Mm-hmm. I have 3 Satsuki azaleas at my house, and 2 of them look fine, and the one in the middle is turned brown. All the leaves have dropped off, and the irrigation was not hitting that particular one. So I think that Cindy, that's a good guess on your part. Mm-hmm. Probably is, the drought.
Okay, with that in mind, Tiger, Randy Schultz is ready to go. Those on Facebook Live, questions, comments, here we go.
Yeah, we have Randy Schultz joining us, a writer for Home, Garden, and Homestead website with a bunch of holiday gift ideas. Now, Randy, before we get started on what we're going to be talking about today with all these wonderful ideas that we have here in studio, we have to get your answer. How do you have graham crackers, or have you ever eaten a graham cracker before?
Well, I did not expect that question.
Yeah.
But
Keep you on your toes.
just for total transparency, I like graham crackers the old-fashioned way. Just eat them plain. Maybe some sort of a beverage to help wash them down. But I'm a purist when it comes to crackers.
I love it. That is excellent. That's awesome. Randy, thank you very much for joining us. So excited. This is one of my favorite shows every year where we get to showcase a bunch of really neat stuff for people to maybe buy for themselves or for someone they know during the holidays if they're into gardening. And for the past couple years, it's been a hot topic. So I'm sure there's a lot of people looking for gift ideas for maybe a new or experienced gardener.
Absolutely. You want to jump in and start with tools because gardeners love tools.
Yes, who doesn't?
Yeah, let's
right?
do it.
All right. Well, my favorite weeder of all time, could be yours, is the Cobrahead Weeder. One of the best hand tools I've ever used in my life. A lot of folks know this tool, right? It's a single steel blade, and it really does kind of have the shape of a cobra head when you actually look at the tool. You guys probably have one there in the studio.
Yeah, I'm holding it up to the camera
yeah,
now,
we
Randy.
have two of them.
And one of the great things is the simplicity of it, right? It's just got the handle, the one piece of steel. It does its job. You're not worrying about parts breaking off or anything like that, right?
Exactly. And the way the handle is constructed, it's a proprietary mix of recycled plastic and wood fiber to strengthen the plastic. And it's molded around the handle, so there's no possible way for the two pieces to separate. And that's my pet peeve with a lot of hand tools. Sooner or later, whether it's a trowel or a digging tool, the handle and the blade start to wiggle and separate. Never happens with the Cobrahead. That makes it the best tool all by itself. And then that plus the shape of the blade, it's just a great digging tool. It cuts through the soil. So great tool. And as you mentioned, there's two different sizes of this tool now. The regular size, the original, plus what they call the mini Cobrahead. And that's great for smaller digging jobs. It's great for containers. It's great for folks with smaller hands. So between the two tools, that's pretty much all the digging you need. And then they even have a long-handled version where they take that same bigger blade, stick it on the end of a wooden handle. And that means that you can dig weeds out without bending over. You can do it standing up.
My favorite tool that I use all the time is a Cape Cod weeder. Mm-hmm. And I'm looking at this Cobrahead, and I'm thinking the Cobrahead would probably do the same type of work, right?
Yeah. Yeah. The truth is there is more than one weeding tool out there. And they all use the same concept, which is, get a blade into the soil as efficiently as possible. I just happen to like the Cobrahead. And I know Noel Valdez from he invented this tool based on an old cultivator, a farm cultivator. Anyway, it's a great story. He actually took a single blade from an old tool and re-engineered it so that we've got the modern Cobrahead weeder.
That's one of those, Tiger. Why didn't I think of that?
Yeah, right. It's so like I was
so
saying,
simple.
it's so simple but so effective. And with all the different sizes and stuff, and that is one thing. No matter what you're buying with a gardener in mind, is size. Because Randy, whether you're talking about a pruner or whether you're talking about a weeder or a trowel, they make them so there's large jobs. They make them for their small jobs, and having the right tool for the right area or the right person is an important part of it. So, that's nice that they come in the different sizes.
Absolutely.
Another thing that comes in different sizes is going to be the auger. Now, Randy, we are going to have to take a break here in about a minute, but, let's kind of hit on this real quick, and then maybe we'll finish up when we get back from break.
Yeah, that's a great idea. And you can do a show and tell when we come back. But, a digging auger is basically a giant drill bit, and it fits in any kind of cordless normal drill, right? But it turns your drill into a way to drill into the dirt. So instead of digging holes, you're now drilling holes. The drill is doing the hard part of the job. It's doing the work. And for that reason, it's a really efficient and really powerful way to simplify a job that otherwise is just work, right?
Right.
Hey, Randy,
All right.
we are going to take a break. Hold on to those thoughts. Tiger, you're opening up the package.
Yep.
When we come back on Facebook Live, you'll be able to see all of this. One of the benefits of watching. Hey, those on Biz Talk Radio, you can tune into us live every Saturday. Just go to our Facebook page. You don't need an account, and that would be Garden America Radio Show to actually watch what we're doing. And again, those on Facebook, questions, comments for one of us or Randy, we welcome those as well. In the meantime, going to take a break. Back after these messages on Biz Talk Radio and Facebook Live. Stay with us. We have returned from the break. Those on Biz Talk Radio, a bit longer break, but thank you for supporting our many sponsors and people who do support this program, Garden America. Facebook Live, we continue. Back to you, Tiger. Back to Randy, continuing on these great gift ideas and products here on the Garden America show for a Saturday.
All right. So, yeah, again, we're talking with Randy Schultz from the Home Garden and Homestead website, and we're talking about some great gift ideas. Before the break, we mentioned the power planter, the planting auger. And, Randy, just so you're aware, I was able to open up the bulb and bedding plant auger. I have it in my hands. In display, we have the smaller version and then also this wonderful DeWalt drill that we will be giving away soon as part of some gift ideas. But, you know, Randy, this auger bit is, very heavy, very well built. But then I noticed it has the hex pattern at the tip. So when you're install it into any drill, it'll grip and won't spin through the drill. So a lot of thought went into this, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the hex bit means that all the power from the drill goes into the drilling auger. So you don't lose anything. It never slips. And that's important because, let's face it, that's a big drill bit, right? Much bigger than what you're going to normally use a drill for. So you need a little power to move that thing through the soil. But what a great digging tool! I mean, it changed the way I plant bulbs in the fall for sure, because now I can do way more.
And I think you could strike oil with that thing.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously you want to use discretion, but I have one of these as well, and my son was always taking my drill and just drilling the ground with it anyways. So I would put this bit on it.
Why not?
And I'm like, hey, just go have at it now. And can you stay in this little area for me? And whether it's planting or just working the soil, he has fun using it. So, it's something I think for everyone, and it makes some tasks, John definitely loves planting, and I enjoy getting out in the garden, but at the same time, I think it more fun to use a power tool.
And I guess the bottom line, easier too.
Much easier. And we talk about California having heavy clay soil. This bit is very durable, very strong. And as long as you have a strong enough drill to power it, you're going to be successful no matter where you're at.
I don't know if we want to do this, Randy, but some of our listeners online are asking if we can give price ranges for some of these.
Well, sure.
And
the augers.
Yeah, right after the auger was when they asked.
Yeah, the augers start at about $30 each, and as we alluded to, the bigger the auger, the bigger the hole. The longer the auger, the deeper the hole. They've got augers that are 2 feet long for planting, and much wider in diameter than the ones you've got there for planting like 1 gallon plants and trees and whatnot. So they start at 30, they go on up. You can get one of the giant ones for, I think it's like, I don't know, $150 or $200. That's a serious tool, and you need a really powerful drill to use that. Now, that DeWalt drill that you've got in the studio there is packaged with a couple of augers as like the ultimate gardener's digging set, and that's a good tool.
Yeah,
you don't want to buy a $39 tool at Walmart if you're going to really get serious about this.
Yeah, definitely.
Veronica in San Diego mentions that she just found her husband's Christmas gift for herself. She's going to get an auger.
Going to get an auger.
Yeah.
Well, Merry Christmas.
All right, Randy. What would you like to move to next?
Let's talk about some seeds.
All
Why
right.
not? You guys got a couple of...
we got
yeah.
the Botanical Interest, and then we also have the American Meadow ones in.
Yeah. So, and let me just tell your listeners again, all of these products are written up in our story on homegardenhomestead.com. So you can see the pictures nice and big, and you can read more about them. So we're just quickly going through them. Botanical Interest is one of my favorite seed vendors in America. They're basically a family-owned company. Family started in Colorado, and they're all about organic seeds, non-GMO seeds, heirloom seeds whenever possible. So it's a great place to get your seeds. And then when it comes to gift-giving time, they package up some of their most popular varieties in little gift collections, right?
Yeah.
So we featured two different ones from Botanical Interest. We featured the Basic Bounty Vegetable Collection, which is 9 packets of seeds. Pretty like the greatest hits of vegetable gardening. You got Black Beauty zucchini. You got little Glacier cherry tomato and lettuce and Market More cucumber. So these are favorites. So anybody who's a vegetable garden either knows these plants or for somebody who hasn't grown before, this is a great place to start because these are all proven varieties. They grow great and they taste great. For those folks who like flowers, they've got something called the Be Happy Seed Collection. And again, they've got other collections. These are the two that we just picked out. This Be Happy collection is all about attracting pollinators, specifically bees. The flowers are awesome. There's hyssop and there's larkspur and there's bee balm. The great thing about growing flowers, even if you're a vegetable gardener, the flowers attract the bees that also pollinate your vegetables. So having both in your backyard garden is a really great way to have successful plants through the whole season.
And then I also want to mention, you're not just going to their website and buying these seeds. They've actually prepared gift boxes for them, and they come wrapped, neatly packaged with some information in the box as well. And it comes as a finished gift, which is really, really nice as well. So it's more than just
good looking presentation.
Yeah,
yes, it is.
The seeds are awesome.
Yes.
So and it's not over the top gift wrap. You know what I mean? It's sort of an attractive white box with a decorative green ribbon.
Yeah.
So it looks sort of, the package even looks sort of organic.
Yeah. So for me, it's kind of like I put some thought into it a little bit. It's not.
Look what Tiger did.
Yeah. Which for me is a win.
I've never been good at packaging.
Right. No.
And wrapping gifts has just always been. I think it dates back to when my wife and I were first married, and I wrapped everything with the Sunday comics.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
I remember
really?
that story.
Yeah,
I remember that story.
and she was not impressed.
Yeah.
Hey, Randy, just to backtrack just a little bit here, not to mess up our forward momentum, but somebody is asking the weight on that drill.
The drill?
The drill.
Yeah, she
the
says the
auger?
drill. No, she says the drill.
The drill.
Oh, let me see. I can.
This is just a guess.
Sure.
I'm thinking 2 or 3 pounds.
Oh, really? I was thinking that probably was a lot more.
What do you think, Tiger?
I was thinking 100 pounds.
Oh, no.
No, it's like maybe like 5 to 8 pounds.
Yeah, you're picking up the whole thing within the package.
Yeah. It's like 5.
Well, that's
yeah.
it. That drill, I'm pretty sure, that's boxed in a plastic.
Oh, you
Yes.
mean, yes, I'm sorry, the whole box.
Yeah,
the drill itself, you're probably
Could be
right.
like,
It's like
yeah.
2, 3.
So it's a weight that anyone could use.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, it's not too big that most people can't handle it. And in fact, a power tool is only as good as its power, right?
Power.
And that comes with weight. So
Right.
I wouldn't scare anybody off from using a power drill because it's too heavy. I think we can all pretty much handle that.
No, and all the drills out there on the market are pretty close to a similar weight. It's the battery.
The battery
that
itself,
is what
yeah.
can sometimes, and you can always buy lighter, smaller batteries that maybe have to be charged more often. But for the weight, because the batteries are always the heavy part of these drills, these cordless drills. So, hey, back to Botanical Interest real quick, Randy. The other thing is on their website, they have gift cards, they have calendars. So, if you're trying to put something together, it's a great place to go to, and you can put wonderful packages together with not just seeds, right?
Oh, yeah. We also selected their botanical note cards. There's a lot of choices. I like their little stand-up desk calendar because it fits in a little space. Not everybody has a big wall space for a calendar in every room. So if you go to botanicalinterest.com, you can they've got a little thing at the top, gifts for gardeners. So they've sorted them out, all the good stuff.
I don't know if you've ever opened up a Botanical Interest package, Tiger.
Yeah.
But you can read the inside of
The
it, too.
information inside is
you can
better
only
than
get,
the information outside.
You can only get so much information outside on the pack. So on theirs, you open it up, and there's a whole nother booklet inside.
Yeah, and all right, so we're going to have to take another break. When we get back from the break, we'll continue talking with Randy Schultz about some wonderful gift ideas.
You bet, Tiger. Thank you. And again, a lot of good questions, comments on Facebook Live. Keep those rolling. Those on BizTalk Radio, going to take a break. Also Facebook Live. But if you are on Facebook Live, we will return much quicker. That said, it is our Saturday show here, Garden America. John Bagnasco, Tiger Palafox. I'm Brian Main. Welcome. Coming back with Randy Schultz after these messages on BizTalk Radio. Back from our very short break on Facebook Live, a bit longer on BizTalk Radio. And speaking of BizTalk Radio, this is the final segment of hour number one. Hopefully, your radio station, your market carries both hours, 1 and 2. If you do, we are back at 6 minutes after news at the top of the hour. In the meantime, great gift ideas, good presentation, and a lot of questions, so we have struck a chord with many of our viewers on Facebook Live, Tiger.
And Tiger did post. Am I on?
You're on, John.
Okay. Tiger did post a link to Randy's site where if you want more information on any of these gifts, or if you want to give the link to your husband to order something for you or wife, you can go ahead and do that.
Just go ahead and leave it on the laptop right there open, so that way if your partner just happens to stumble upon the website you were perusing last.
Here's a good idea. Go through their history. What are they?
I don't know what they sent. Is the fact that they do regional wildflower seed mixes. So no matter where you live in the country, there is a mix that was designed for your growing area. And that makes it a whole lot easier to be successful when you're planting seeds.
And now, so I'm looking, they put together the Monarch Butterfly Wildflower Mixture. And this is a 1/4 pound package. They sell them in half and 1 pound packages as well. And this has, maybe about 25 different plants in here. You got Clarkia, you got Monarda, you got Asclepias, lupins, chrysanthemums, helianthus. And they give you the instructions on, spring or fall planting. They also, tell you about how to take care of them after, you've planted them as far as watering and things like that. And so it's a great, package, and then lots of good information as well. And then the book, has the descriptions of meadows and the plants that grow in meadows and the benefits, because, one of the things that people don't realize about meadows, and it's funny, I remember talking with John about this a while back. Whenever there's a movie and it shows someone laying in a meadow, and it's supposed to be so, I don't know, therapeutic or zen-like, but if anybody's actually laid in a meadow, it is nothing like therapeutic or zen-like. There's bugs crawling all over you. There's things flying all around.
Right.
And it's because
twigs sticking in your back.
Yeah, it's an ecosystem out there with wonderful life. And that's what a meadow is. It's supposed to be that. So, really neat information for sure. Again, from American Meadows is the company.
Yeah, and let me just spend one more minute on the book. The book is called Mini Meadows. It's by Mike Lizotte, who's one of the founders of American Meadows. People call him the seed man because he knows everything about seeds. And his book is about the beauty of a meadow garden in no matter what kind of garden space you have, including a container. You can use the principles of mixed wildflower seeds and have a great little side yard in your, next to your house, or a couple of planter boxes on your windows. So he's taken the concept, he's simplified it, and made it very, very accessible to all of us.
Yeah. So I mean, a great idea for anyone, as you're saying, whether they have an apartment, whether they do have 10 acres, a great gift idea nonetheless. And just for people to understand too, I mean, a 1/4 pound of meadow seeds, it doesn't say on the package, but, we're talking, hundreds of square feet of area.
Oh, yeah, easy.
For seeds. I mean, 1/4 pound of seeds might not sound like a lot, but it goes very far. It does. So, that would be a whole backyard for sure, or John's hillside.
Brian, you've always been a fan of Audrey Meadows.
Big time fan.
Yeah. Hey, Rick in Idaho wants to know if we've ever planted crimson clover. And you were saying that he should talk to either Tommy James or the Shondells. Right.
That'll give you your answer, Rick, over and over again.
But crimson clover is a winter annual. It has kind of a relatively short season, and in southern states, now's the time that to put it in. And I don't know if that's in American Meadows or not, but I think it would bloom a little later up in Idaho because they've got the cooler winters.
So, we were talking about meadows and we were talking about bugs, Randy, but meadows don't attract mosquitoes, but we do have some things here in studio for gift ideas that would maybe repel mosquitoes, depending on where you live.
Sure. Well, those of us who are gardeners and spend any kind of time outdoors know that being bugged by insect pests is probably one of the most annoying things that happens when you're outdoors. So a company, a Florida-based company called Parakeeto, has come out with insect repellents that are 100% natural. The active ingredients are essential oils. It's a nice, friendly, eco-friendly as well way to keep insects from bugging you. And the selection that we picked was a nice little spray bottle that will fit in a purse or a backpack or even a pocket. And that spray will protect you for 8 hours against most mosquitoes and ticks and other bugs that are going to bug you.
Yeah, and then also I have this wonderful, and it's actually kind of fashionable wristband. This is an American flag one. And they sell the little insert with the essential oils in there that you put in the wristband, and then you can just wear this. I don't know how long it lasts. I haven't read that information. But, that's another great way if you don't like spraying something on your body, but you can take it on and off. Hey, Randy, we will continue talking about Parakeeto when we get back, but we are going to have to take a break right now. When we get back, we'll continue talking with Randy Schultz.
You bet. And those on Biz Talk Radio, that's going to wrap up hour number 1. News coming up top of the hour, back at 6 minutes after. Hopefully you do carry both hours 1 and 2. On Facebook Live, hang in there. It's going to be a quick break. as we continue on your Saturday morning along with Tiger Palafox. John Bagnasco, I'm Brian Main. Thank you for tuning in and supporting Garden America. Back after these messages. News coming up here on Biz Talk Radio. If you are tuned in on Biz Talk Radio, welcome one and all to hour number 2. It's about 6 minutes after Facebook Live. Thank you for being with us since the beginning, or those that maybe have tuned in just a little while ago. Been having a great conversation with a good friend of the show, Randy Schultz. These great gift ideas, from seeds to books to drills to augers, you name it. And we are back as we continue our conversation with Randy Schultz. Tiger?
Yeah, Randy, we were just talking about Paraquito, this brand that produces repellents based with the essential oils. And I was talking about this wristband that they sell, and then with the little inserts that has the repellent in there. And then the nice thing about this is, for those of you that don't maybe like to spray on your body or on your clothes the repellent, this is something that you can easily just put on and take off as you see fit. That's a pretty neat idea. I like that.
I don't get how that works again.
And Dana has a question about that.
Well, Dana wants to know if it's expensive and what's the website address. So that link to your website would be the correct one to use. Is that right, Randy?
Yes. If you go to homegardenandhomestead.com, the very first thing you see on the homepage is the Gifts for Gardeners. Click on that. Scroll down a little bit. We've got information about Paraquito. We've got a link to their site. That little portable spray bottle is $19.50. The little armbands and wristbands, they're in that same price range too, and they've got different colors and stuff, and they've even got some that were kind of designed with kids in mind, to get them to wear it and think it's cool. They're doing a lot in terms of making this real user friendly.
All right, and I might be missing something, but I'm intrigued with this wristband. You put on the wristband, how does that keep the insects off your back?
There was the little
There's a
little insert that I had with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you put it in the area that's netted there. Brian, will you grab one of the little inserts? Sorry. And that insert has the oils for the repellents on that insert, and it just, releases it, kind of creates a nice protected shield for you over time. So that's how the repellent works.
So it covers your whole body?
Yeah, because
from just a wristband.
Yeah, because when you're putting on a repellent spray, you just spray a bit all over. But
yeah, you don't want to kiss anybody after they put off all over their face.
What was it that they used
called
to put
off
in?
For a reason.
Yeah. And so it just creates a nice protective bubble for you, with the essential oils around your body. So. And then they have a gel as well. There's a gel that's down there on the packaging. So Paraquito is the company. And, another great idea because, Randy, that's one of those parts of gardening people don't always think about. It's not the fun part. It's not a cool tool. It's not a plant. But I'm sure somebody appreciates getting this gift if they are a gardener working outside, right?
Well, that's why we put it in the stocking stuffer section. Gifts under $10 or $20, things that you don't normally think of as Christmas gifts, but when it really comes down to it, very practical and very thoughtful.
Yeah. So lots of great gift ideas out there, Randy. And on the website, you have even more than what we've shown here. And I would assume most of these people are starting to ship their products now, and you might want to be getting these products in your hands now. I'm not going to say anybody has any shortages because I don't want to deter anybody, but I think this year of any years is a great time to get ahead of the game and maybe start ordering some of these gifts.
I would order today.
Yes.
right after the show.
We've all heard about this supply chain problems, and get it today.
Yeah.
Also buy an extra
Sure,
roll of toilet
sure.
paper while you're at it.
Go ahead and order, and then just kind of stick it in the back of your closet, and you won't have to worry about agonizing whether the order comes on the December 22nd or something.
Exactly. So, definitely get your orders in now. We gave the website there. Randy, thank you very much for joining us this morning. Lots of good information, lots of great gift ideas, and really thoughtful across the board, from something that people can use in the garden, protect them from the garden, or make their garden pretty. So, Randy, thank you very much. Have a great rest of the weekend.
You too. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, take care, Randy. Okay, and those on Facebook, scroll back because that website is there. Tiger put the link on there, so that would be the place to click and have fun, as we say.
Yeah.
And I got a tip for you guys if you're trying to buy something for me.
Okay.
Of all the things that you have there, there is nothing that I don't want.
Here's yours. Merry Christmas, John.
Yeah.
Here's your wristband, John.
I like that
Do you
wristband
have
idea.
mosquitoes out in your yard? Do you
No.
get affected? No, you don't, right? Because
No.
they're down in the tree pit. They probably
Right.
stay down there.
Probably.
This is a good idea.
Well, we've got flies, though.
Oh,
Those biting
those
flies.
big flies, yeah.
No-see-ums. And not big flies.
Oh, I thought
just-
you guys had those big, like, horse flies.
No.
No?
So is this just mosquito, or what? How broad range is this, Tiger, do you think?
You mean, does it repel other things besides mosquitoes?
Yeah.
Gophers.
Wouldn't that be a good idea, right?
Yeah.
Let's see. Mosquitoes, ticks.
Okay. John, you got a tick problem. This is good for you.
If I had a pet tick, you know what I would name them?
Talk.
Exactly.
We think alike.
We do.
Yeah.
It's
It
bad
just-
news for one of us.
I
It
know.
just says mosquitoes and ticks, but I mean, essential oils. Let me kind of list this. And John is kind of, working in the industry. Plants are always felt as repellents, repellents noted as repellents
Right,
as well.
right.
So in this is citronella, corn mint, which I don't know what that is. Corn mint, and then Eugene oil, which Eugenia.
Yeah.
Eugenia, I know they have repellents, and then geranium oil, which I'm assuming is some kind of scented geranium. That is probably has some kind of repellent aspect of it too. So, these are all plant oils.
Yeah, it's all
based,
safe, natural, good stuff.
These are not chemicals or anything
Right.
like that. So,
And you know what? It looks very stylish, too.
I'd feel really cool spraying this around.
Right, and I'd feel cool putting that on my wrist and walking around town. Hey, look at this. Look at my wrist.
Yeah.
It does not repel neighbors, though, John.
No. And you can't come into the studio and make Brian and I leave because you're wearing it.
I don't
Maybe if you
have
wore
any
a lot.
neighbors. I don't have to worry.
You don't, do you?
Not many.
I remember the neighbors you had before the house was built. Let's see, I'm not even sure direction-wise. The big palm trees and the blue roof. Same.
Right. That's to the south of me.
Oh, okay, the south, right.
Right.
Still the blue roof, still lots of palm trees?
Right.
Okay.
I told you where that blue roof came from. In Vista on Highway 78 was an old savings and loan, and there were two towers. One had a blue roof and one had a red roof, red tile and blue tile, and the blue tile came off that building when they took it down.
Well, they recycled it?
They just said, hey,
Yeah.
we'll use the roof. We
Yeah,
need
the
it.
old neighbor was, I think he was a pilot, either that or in the Air Force, and
Wow,
and
good
really
idea.
liked it.
And I'm sure
It
those
looks good.
ceramic roof tiles don't break down
I
like the
wouldn't think
terracotta
so.
ones or like a shingle would.
I
So
think
I'm sure
they have
it lasts.
Longer lasting life.
Yeah,
you'd
I mean,
think.
nobody's up there stepping on it or, it's just ceramic coated tile.
Huge palms. I like that. So here we go. Thank you. That was great. I say thank you to Randy Schultz
Yeah.
and his company. Good friend of the show. And we're going to keep this on display throughout the show for those that like to click in, click off, come and go as they watch our show on Facebook Live. And those on Biz Talk Radio, go to our website, gardenamerica.com. You can also go to our Facebook page. And, of course, go to YouTube. It's always Garden America Radio Show.
By the way, those huge palms that you like, Brian, make Washingtonia robusta, which is what those palms are.
Are they messy?
It's one of the most common weeds on my property.
I'll bet. I'll bet.
Hundreds of palm trees get pulled up every year at my house.
John's
Yeah,
going
you're
to
just
start
like,
a
what is this?
Washingtonia farm.
Lots of volunteers. Volunteer palms.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know what you could use Washingtonias for. Maybe something in the future, but right now, a Washingtonia farm would be another name for the poor farm.
The
Yeah.
platform, exactly.
Yep.
So if you have any questions for one of us here, again, Randy was our guest today. We've still got the products on display here. If you have any questions about that, you can take a look at them.
Rick in Star, Idaho had mentioned that he was doing wildflower gardens at his home.
In Idaho?
There's so many different species of plants. He
Yeah.
says it's almost addictive.
It's
We're
really
gonna
You
neat.
get all kinds of colors.
Got to take a quick break. We're going to come right back after these messages on Biz Talk Radio. And, of course, a quicker break on Facebook Live as we continue on your Saturday afternoon or Saturday morning here on Garden America. Right back after the break on Biz Talk Radio, Facebook Live. Thank you for tuning in. John, you look very stylish with your headsets on. John likes to hear himself when he talks. Now, you can keep him on.
Well, no,
big
you
deal.
keep turning off his mic, so that's the way he knows when
Yeah,
his
that's the
mic
only
is
way
off.
I can tell if I'm on or
You
not.
know, I will explain how all that works when we have a caller on and I've got to have their audio pot up. It affects your pot.
Oh, okay.
And I'll explain all that later on.
Well, I remember
Send it
that
in
one
a memo.
time I went the whole show and had my mic off.
And the ratings went through the roof.
Yeah.
Remember that?
I remember that. Hey, I've got a solution
Yes.
for Carla in Huntington Beach, I think. She says all these gift ideas are lovely, but that's not what she wants. She wants a label maker for making long-lasting labels for her plants.
You know, this
Ooh.
is deja vu. Didn't we talk about this a couple of 2 or 3 years ago, label makers? Or was that Bruce? Somebody was really into label makers. Ring any kind of a bell with you?
We might have talked about this, but I have a label maker that I've had. I think the oldest one now is 12 years old, labeling a rose. Looks like it was put on last week.
Yeah, really. It's that good.
And being out in full sun never fades. It's spectacular. And it hooks up to your computer.
Now, this is for Carla. She's listening.
For Carla, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, anyone can get one.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay, good.
It's not just for Carla.
Wow.
But it's I'm not sure if it's the P4, but it's a brother label maker.
Like a brother typewriter, brother
Right.
company.
And you can get a sun-resistant labels that you put in the maker, and then you use the program on your computer and just print them out and put them on those aluminum plant stakes.
Like if you were going through let's say somebody had a display garden,
Right.
that kind of thing.
Yeah. And if Carla sends me an email to john@gardenamerica.com, I will send her the links to what I have. I'm not sure I think that label maker's still available. I know I wasn't able to use mine for a while because I needed an updated driver when we went to Windows 10. And I interviewed a lot of people, found a driver that I really liked, and he started working. Now my labels are
And we will
perfect.
post those interviews on our website, gardenamerica.com.
Now, Lila in Poway uses something that I have seen other people use, and she uses old vinyl blinds, and then she cuts them to what she wants, and she just uses a number 2 pencil. Those do work, nowhere near as attractive as my labels.
Look at Janice's response to you.
Oh, she uses the label maker
You
too.
just got a new one.
All right.
So there you go.
So if she just got a new one, they're available. And Jan and I think Diane and I are good rose buddies. And the worst thing to have is a rose without a name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a whole bed now with about 80 roses not
have-
marked.
Oh, yeah.
And, fortunately, you and was it a white grease pencil on the roses that you gave me? You put you
Right.
wrote the
Otherwise,
names on
you
there.
wouldn't have a name either.
Lemon spice.
Right.
We've got abracadabra,
And Nimbus.
nimbus, and there's one more.
Oh, what was that other one? What color?
Purple. Nimbus is kind of a purple, right?
Right. Nimbus is purple.
Lemon spice is yellow, of course.
Right.
And there's another one.
It was a red one, right?
Yes. I'll look when I get.
I know it wasn't Caramia because you said you didn't want that one.
And speaking about roses, there's two things I want to mention. Number one on the label is that, I don't know if Heirloom Roses does this, but I know that sometimes if you buy a rose from them, you can get a label made. And those are fantastic labels that come with their roses because they etch them in plastic and they ship you the rose with all of that information.
Who is that you're mentioning?
Heirloom Roses.
They do plastic ones now, too?
Yeah, where
they do metal ones, too.
Oh, was it metal or plastic? I thought it was etched in plastic. Is it etched in metal?
Well, there are labels that are etched in plastic, but they also have printed labels that are metal.
Yeah, they have
really
cool ones. But I also want to mention is that this is the last weekend of the rose auction, right, John?
Right, but if you're listening to us on the radio,
it's too late. But if you're listening live.
But for Facebook Live.
Yeah, if you're on Facebook listening to us today, tomorrow at 1 o'clock, I think, is the end of bidding for the rose auction.
Here's a question for John from Rick. When will the Garden America T-shirts be available for this Christmas?
When Brian designs it.
When
I think
we're finish our design work?
Unfortunately, we're out now, right?
Sold out. You know what? We put them up, and within, a matter of hours, they sell out.
We had Garden Life T-shirts. Do you remember those?
Yeah, they were nice.
Back when, yeah.
How many people would be interested? I know that Dana volunteered to mail some of this stuff out at one time. She goes, if you guys ever have any prizes, I'll be happy to mail them out.
Look at that.
So something we can maybe put in the back of our minds, not too far back, but right there so we're conscious.
All right. Good Christmas
I guess that's it. Are we out of things to say for this week?
Definitely
Just
not.
kidding. No, we've got two more segments after this.
Yeah.
Yes, Carla says a couple of roses. I can't remember the names of. And
Drives her nuts. Yeah.
Yeah, of course
I don't blame
it does.
her.
Oh, this is nice. What is it called? I don't know.
Hey, I always give you the weeds from around my house, right?
What about the weeds?
I always give them to you.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. And
what do you have now?
Macadamia nuts.
Now, have these... my question's going to be...
You cannot grow it on your patio.
They're plants.
Right, but I don't have...
No.
Not enough sun.
Oh, yeah, they
Or
do
room.
need some sun.
Or room.
And even leading up to the sidewalk leading up to the front door now, there's still sun, but not as much. There's a building in the way. Every year, that same building.
You have hibiscus, which most people think need full sun, but the hybrid hibiscus do good in part shade.
In fact, last year at this time, during the wintertime, it was blooming, and you were amazed. You're like, wow, it's
impressive.
Blooming in the dead of winter.
Yeah. I planted a couple hibiscus last week before the heat.
Hey, good for you. I didn't think you were a hibiscus guy.
At one time, I had 80 hibiscus, and I was collecting hibiscus, but then I ran out of room.
And you know that there's no end in sight for a hibiscus collection. I mean, even a rose, there's no end in sight, but your focus is on rare roses.
Right.
I wonder what the selection of rare hibiscus is.
Well, I had a lot of hibiscus that were considered rare. As a matter of fact, there's one species that I still haven't gotten, and I think the last I heard was there were like 20 plants in the world.
Wow.
But they've been trying to reproduce it, taking cuttings and things. And I think it might be available pretty soon. It comes from some island in the South Pacific.
T-shirts and coffee mugs. Uh-oh. Pandora's box is open. Coffee mugs?
Yeah.
Well, we had Mighty Mado coffee mugs.
That goes back a few years.
Yeah.
Hey, we have to take a break.
We could do a Garden America coffee mug.
We could do that. Maybe.
Yeah.
We'll think about it.
It's easy.
We got a break coming up right now. 2 more segments after this. If you're watching us on Facebook Live, it's going to be real quick, just like that. We'll be back. Those on BizTalk Radio, a bit longer. So do stay with us as we continue with John Bagnasco, Tiger Palafox. I'm Brian Main, back after these messages on BizTalk Radio, but no messages on Facebook Live. Yes, indeed, we are back. Thank you for tuning in on BizTalk Radio right here on Facebook Live. People want T-shirts and coffee mugs and hoodies and keychains. And
so on the coffee mug, you just put the Garden America logo on one side and then Get Growing America on the other side.
Get Growing America. That'd be a little more expensive, but we could.
Not that much more.
Garden America. Get Growing America.
Yeah. Hey, Lila says that her 2 computers would not let her input the info to participate in the auction. I don't know if that's true. I think that Harry might have had her husband might have had something to do with
he
not
put the
allowing.
settings not allowing her to bid on things.
Right. But anyway, Lila, if you're listening, email your list to me with your maximum bids to john@gardenamerica.com, and I will get an input for you today.
What a nice guy.
Jeez, John.
Yeah, you didn't have to do
What a
that.
I
sweetheart
had someone
you
in
are.
San Diego who said that she's fighting with Google
Uh-oh.
and she can't get her email to work, so she texted me her list,
Wow.
and we got that input.
Good thing you still work.
Yeah. You're
Google's
better than
not
you're
working.
better than Google, John.
Wow.
I don't know about that.
Yeah. Goodness gracious.
I think
Are
we're caught up.
you growing anything, John, for Thanksgiving dinner?
Growing
Meaning,
anything for
yeah, like do you have
Thanksgiving
any food crops and you anticipate using it in a Thanksgiving meal? No?
I'm thinking the only edible crops I have going right now are chives.
Chives work.
Yeah, they'll work. Garnish there.
One Swiss chard plant that came up from seed,
Yeah.
and some tomatoes that also came up from seed. I put a tomato cage over one of them.
just a volunteer tomato, and you're just like, oh,
Yeah.
here we
I've still
go.
got a few. I've still
we're
got
gonna
a
grow
few
this one.
tomato stragglers. I go out there and there's a couple more,
Yep.
couple more.
Do they ever make it in the house?
Interesting. That's a great question. I would say half of them do
Really?
because
Well, that's nice of you to share.
the small ones are they're like grapes, sweet
Yeah.
grapes.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm out there working, popping them in my mouth, and oh, here, Dana, I've got some tomatoes to bring in the house.
Two.
How come there's only 2 or 3?
Yeah.
I don't know. Just not a very good crop this year.
How come all the ones you bring to me have blossom end rot?
You know what I'm going to tell my doctor in my next physical? I'm going to say, you know what? I want to talk to you about my physical from last year, but I think I've got blossom end rot. Just to see the expression on her face.
Goodness. No, I wonder what people grow for Thanksgiving dinner. This year we're actually going out for Thanksgiving dinner, but
Are you really? Where are you going?
Tom Ham's,
Really? Tom Ham's Lighthouse. There's a
Yep.
San Diego landmark.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Legendary Tom Ham's Lighthouse.
Yeah. Their Thanksgiving buffet. Yeah. You know, it's just sometimes a hard
Yep.
event for us with the holidays and Christmas trees and
Right.
work and
Sure.
family that it's just easy to say, hey, every once in a while we just say, hey, let's just go someplace and have them serve us.
And you chose them out of other places because no
We-
real reason?
Because of the lighthouse.
Yeah.
The
No,
bay,
It's a nice
the
spot.
harbor. It's beautiful down there.
Yeah, it's a nice spot. Yeah.
My dad used to keep his boat at the Konakai Club back in the day, which is right down the Shelter Island, Harbor Island. Yeah.
Harbor.
Harbor Island,
Harbor's
I think.
across from the airport,
Right.
and that's Harbor Island. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're
Shelter Island's
combining
farther down.
Christmas and Thanksgiving dinners.
Because are you doing it here?
No, we're doing it in Meridian, Idaho.
You guys are going there?
Right. And the reason is that we're all going to my daughter's house, and my son and his wife are coming from Indianapolis. And so the whole family will be together up there
In Meridian.
around the
Good luck, Meridian.
11th of December.
Good.
So it's like right in between the two holidays.
Did you send the police and the mayor a note that the Bagnascos
The
will
Bagnascos
be
are going to be here.
here and be prepared? You might want to have some extra support.
You know, Rick mentioned that I had to have rosemary growing somewhere at my house, and I don't think I do.
Really? I would bet that you did or do.
I probably will end up with rosemary.
Everybody has rosemary. You have rosemary, yeah?
Rosemary Clooney, absolutely.
What was the song that she sang that we really liked? I think we might have played it back when we played songs.
I forget.
Mambo Italiano.
Mambo Italiano.
Yeah.
You've probably heard the song, Tiger. You just didn't realize it was her.
It sounds
It's one of
like
those
I've
popular
heard
tunes.
it, but yeah, I don't know it.
John's favorite
Well-
Peggy Lee song is That All There Is?
Tiger likes the Little Nas cover of Mambo Italiano.
I love how you just little Nas just dropped right there from John Bignasco.
Now, if you were to ask me, do you really have any idea who
Yeah,
Little
who that
Ness
is?
No, not a clue.
Exactly. Oh my goodness.
I thought you were a Lil Wayne fan, John.
Yeah, yeah. a little
what?
something.
Lil Wayne. Did you like Lil
Oh,
Wayne?
Lil Wayne?
Yeah.
How come so many of those rappers are little? Little.
Yeah, you never grow up.
I think we're caught up on the. We got a lot of comments.
Carolyn says it sounds like a memorable occasion for the Bagnascos. My daughter sent me a note. You know how you have holiday traditions?
Mm-hmm.
Well, when I was growing up, one of our traditions was always to go to my grandmother's house for chestnuts. And my grandfather would take the chestnuts down in the basement and put them in the furnace
Okay.
and actually cook them there, then bring them upstairs.
This is that whole chestnuts roasting at an open fire thing, kind of.
Yeah, so he'd bring them upstairs, and everybody would, well, the adults always had a glass of wine and ate their chestnuts. So I kept that tradition after my wife and I were married and we had kids. No one in our family ever liked chestnuts. My wife would tolerate them. I, of course, liked them because of my childhood. And my kids always had the idea, why are we doing this?
Really? What's against a chestnut?
They just never liked them. But
Yeah?
my daughter texted me and said, she actually sent me a picture of chestnuts being sold from a cart in Italy. And she said, this brings back memories. And I said, I know what you want. I know what the picture is. You want to make sure we have chestnuts when we come up there. And she said, actually, I was growing to find, to like them.
Oh,
See,
all right.
your
So-
tastes change as you get older.
Yeah, so, and that's what we had the kids do. Every year you've got to eat just one. So Gina says, all right, let's see if we can find them, and everybody has to eat one.
Okay.
Cindy's got a question, John, before we go to the break.
How do you all feel about sprinkler systems? Hers is over 30 years old and has been fixed piecemeal.
Yeah.
Should she start over and replace the whole thing? I live in Northern California in a little town called Clayton.
I'm going to answer for Tiger. I think he's got the same answer I do. Start over again. Update it. 30 years old? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes when you're dealing with sprinkler systems, it's just easier to start over again.
Because
Especially
otherwise you're changing out parts all the time.
you are, and you've got parts, not working well together. So, I mean, watering systems have to work with the user, but then they also have to work with the location. So, how much time do we have before our break?
You got a couple of minutes. Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, you're good.
I mean, we talk about like John's yard, and he's got a slope on his back hillside. He's got roses that he's going to want to probably provide drip systems to. You're going to have other parts of the yard that maybe are full sun exposure that need more water than other parts of the yard that have shade exposure that need less water. And again, as I said, it's got to be something that you feel comfortable working with, being able to go to a general store and be able to buy parts for if you need to fix them, because no matter what, even the perfect system, you're going to have to repair it at some point in time, and you want to feel comfortable doing it. So whether it's drip or sprayers, that's up to you as far as what you want to use. But then, yeah, if it's been around for 30 years and it's kind of, I suggest maybe having somebody come in, work with you on installing a brand new system, just because I think that you'll get a more efficient watering system.
I think she'll be
that'll
surprised about how
better.
modern it is compared
Yeah.
to what she has,
Well,
too.
see,
down
that's
the
the
road.
thing I don't feel comfortable with. I've never felt comfortable with sprinkler systems, period. But the tech that's involved in some of the new systems.
And you don't have to go to the full extent of like the tech, like the rain monitoring systems or the weather systems, but just the idea that these heads are now more efficient. And it's just a simple change in the head that make the water fall better, in the plants, can absorb the water better. Or these drip emitters are more efficient in the sense that they filter out, getting clogged as easy. The old sprinkler
Well, they are
emitters
more efficient, and they pretty
used
much
to.
run themselves to some degree, right?
Well, I mean, that comes down to the clock that is being used. And that's where John, and I agree. If you're a person that, isn't going to connect this clock to Wi-Fi and have a rain sensor.
Right.
Yeah, the clock could be a basic clock, so something that you can program easily. So
Okay, we're going to take a break. We have one more segment coming up, so still time for your questions, your comments. Been a quick show. We appreciate you tuning in. Don't forget our YouTube channel, Garden America Radio Show, our website, gardenamerica.com, and, of course, you're tuned in on Facebook right now, Facebook Live. We've got messages coming your way during this break on Biz Talk Radio. All righty, this is it. Final segment. Brings a few tears to many people. Other people chuckle. We're happy to be here.
For today.
For today, just for today.
Yeah,
That's
not
right.
the final for Garden America.
No, gosh, no. John, you got to get busy in those keychains, coffee mugs, T-shirts, polo shirts. It's going to be a busy week for you, John.
Yeah, I quickly want to remind anyone that I was talking specifically to Lila and Poway, but anyone who can't figure out how to get their bids in for the auction ending tomorrow can just send me a note to john@gardenamerica.com. And if you want to see the current bids, go to ccrsauction.com and it'll show you what the roses are currently going for.
What is the biggest bid so far this year?
The biggest bid is a little over $200,
Or the most
I think.
biggest bid? Is that a proper way to say it?
The highest bid.
Highest bid, thank you.
Right.
Couple $100?
Something like that, right. But some are down under $10.
Yeah, and it's amazing what you can get for a low price in terms of maybe the availability or lack of availability for some of these roses.
Right. Some people have, everyone puts in their highest bid, and that's not what you end up paying for the rose. Because someone put in a bid of over $500 for a rose.
That means that's the most they'll go.
That's the highest they'll
They'll
go.
go.
But unless somebody else bids $499, they're never going to have to pay that much. So if it's a rose you really want, you put in the highest you're willing to go. But the computer in our tech department puts the bid up $1 at a time. So you could bid $100 maximum for a rose and end up getting that rose for $15.
Wow.
If no one bids higher.
the highest bid right now on the website is $278
Oh, wow.
for Utro Muscovy. You know that one?
Utro Muscovy, yeah.
Utro Muscovy.
Which,
It's a hybrid tea.
as
It's
you
a nice
know,
pink
is
flower.
Russian for Moscow morning.
Totally.
Right.
Totally knew that.
Now, is that
That
what's the
kinda
availability of that rose? Is that a hard one to find?
It's not a common rose, and
You
I
have
would put it on the list of the 10 most fragrant roses in the world.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a sport of a rose that came out from around 1912, somewhere around then. But anyway, it's a beautiful
And
type
I'll
of
bet
tea.
that's
Wait a
what's
minute.
creating the interest.
So you had mentioned, I think this rose was related to my orange juice, pink lemonade.
Pink lemonade, same breeder.
Same
came
breeder.
out around the same time.
Yeah.
Jack Christensen's rose.
Man,
Yeah.
somebody's at $101 for it right
But
now.
I bet because it's all
Or
about the
105
fragrance.
just went up.
Yeah,
What
the
was your
fragrance.
maximum bid, Tiger?
I'm not going to say because
Don't say it.
Yeah.
It's nobody's business.
All
Yeah.
right.
Like duck, duck, go. It's nobody's business.
I had a rose I wanted to bid on. It was a rose that's not at my house. Someone is donating it to the auction, and I was going to put a bid on it. And the first bid that came in was way over what I would ever bid, so I just stayed
No
away
way.
from it. Yeah.
What
So
else? We're pretty much caught up with questions, comments.
Excellent.
yeah, I'm trying
got
to
about
think.
4 minutes to go.
I wanted to ask Tiger. I saw I think it was a Facebook post, and was it a picture from last year that showed Christmas trees at your
Yeah,
nursery?
there's a picture from last year kind of saying, get ready this year
Okay.
because
All right, because I was thinking if Tiger had roses last week,
Christmas trees, yeah, they're going to be
last week.
tumbleweeds here in
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
short
Yeah.
stint.
So I'm glad that you missed the high temperatures.
But no, yeah, it's just you know, that idea, if you are planning on getting a Christmas tree this year, you're going to want to be a little bit early, plan ahead. I think that there's going to be a little bit of a struggle getting inventory in, and I think the inventory that comes in is going to be a little bit picked through later in the season this year. So,
A question about how many camellias I've planted at my new house.
yeah.
I think I have about 10 that are in containers that I haven't planted yet, but I have planted 5.
5?
Yeah, so no, let's see, 5, 6, 7. 7 are
Well,
planted.
look at you making headway.
Yeah, 2 of them are Yuletides,
Nice.
which are the sun camellias.
Yeah.
And then one is a miniature camellia.
But sun camellia for you? Full sun?
Yep,
Really?
facing
Wow.
facing
Impressive.
west.
No, but I
So,
mean,
that's
any
pretty
kind of
hot
full
sun.
exposure, I would have
Yeah.
still thought you would have wanted it somewhat protected, but
Yeah,
they
they're
tolerate
doing
all
fine.
that.
Yeah.
Wow. That's nice.
And then the others are japonicas, so they're on the north side of the house.
Yeah, a lot more
And-
protection,
and
right?
they're doing well there.
And now they don't have a problem with your cold at all, right? The camellias.
Oh no.
They really tolerate the cold. It's more the sun and then the direct sunlight
Right.
is the problem if you have those japonicas.
And the soil, because they don't like alkaline soil.
Yeah, you got to keep the fertilizer
Right.
being able to make it.
Is that a whole pH thing again, John?
It is.
That's why John has a PhD in soil.
And you don't want to ever say that word. Just use the initials pH.
Okay.
Because,
Just because.
right.
Is there a short camellia? Sue wants to know.
Yeah, most of the Sasanqua camellias are shorter.
Low growing,
Right.
almost horizontal bushes.
Yeah, some are, and there's even one that Monrovia came out with not that long ago, maybe 10, depends how old you are. Like for me, 10, 15 years ago, it just came out.
Right.
But and I don't remember the name, Tiger, but do you remember it was a ground cover camellia?
I don't remember. No.
Anyway, so they go from ground cover camellias that if you go to Monrovia's website you can find, or to the Sasanquas, the sun camellias. A lot of those are shorter type growing camellias.
Yep.
That's going to do it, guys.
All
Good
right.
job, Tiger. John, both of you brought your A game today.
We're going to be here next week.
We are going to be here next week. You left to drive
Ooh.
down for the show, but
Ooh.
you'll be here. We're good. Tiger, thank you. Thanks to Randy Schultz,
Yeah.
our guest today,
Wonderful
and the great
stuff here.
display that you set up, Tiger. Have yourself a great rest of your weekend. Keep those cards and letters coming. Go to our YouTube page, our YouTube channel, Garden America Radio Show. Like and subscribe. Tell your friends. Do the same thing. Go to our website, gardenamerica.com, our Facebook page. Lots of ways to see us to continue to help us grow. For the entire crew, John Bagnasco, Tiger Palafox, I'm Brian Main. Be safe. Have a great week, and we'll do it again next week right here on Garden America.